Amber, I'm going to fast forward to December 15, 2015. Were you and Mr. Depp together at that time?
Yes, we were.
Did you have a fight that night?
December 15th, yes, we did, but I don't recall. I don't recall what started the argument. We had periods leading up to that were really beautiful and really good, and then periods that weren't.
Well, let's talk about the December 15, 2015. What do you recall of your fight that night with Mr. Depp?
I remember him chasing me in the kitchen. I remember throwing something in his direction to slow down his momentum. I remember him screaming. I remember him getting on top of me at some point, toppling me. Mostly at that moment downstairs, he was hitting me in my face. Again, this is another example of when I wish so much I could tell you an exact sequence, but I can't. It's flashes. So I'll tell you what I do remember. I remember at some point trying to flee upstairs, and we had, he got a hold of me and I got free, and I managed to get all the way up the stairs almost. I was on the last flight, and we'd had some interaction where I think I said something to him on the stairs. It might have been broken up, and I think I said something on the stairs, and I just remember how quickly he shot back up those stairs and grabbed me by the back of my hair, my head, and slammed his hand on my head. And I went down on the stairs, and he overtook me. I remember him so well. I remember his boots and the sound they made. I remember him grabbing my hair, my head, and kind of dragging me up the stairs the rest of the way. He dragged me into the room that those stairs open into. It's like a salon foyer area. And we had this argument that kind of, was a shoving match that I was losing. By the second or third shove, he sent me toppling over this chaise lounge, like a little low-lying sofa seat. And I hit my head on the brick wall. There was an exposed brick wall. I remember I stood up, and I remember Johnny asking me if I wanted to go. And he did that thing where he's like challenging me. He said it in that way, challenging me to stand up and get back up. And when I did, he said, "Oh, you really want to go now, tough guy?" Shoved me back down. "Oh, you really want to go, huh? Oh, you're so tough." I stood back up again. This time he hits me in the face. I stand back up and look him right in the eyes. And it was just a really still moment. I'll never forget it. Really still. I stood up and he said, "You want to go again, tough guy?" And I just looked right at him, just looked right at his face. And he balled up his fists, leaned back, and headbutted me square in the nose. Just right as I stood in front of him. I was a foot from him. Just slammed me right in the nose. Instantly, searing pain. It's one of the few memories I have in this long relationship that I actually remember the physical pain in that moment, just searing. And I remember thinking, you have your hands free. You know, like I had time to think. You have your hands free. You could have hit me with your hands. Why did you headbutt me? I told him that night I was going to leave him. I went through his office to go into the other room where I kept all my stuff. We had another struggle. He overtook me. I was trying to hit him off me. I was trying to get him to trying to get his body off of me, and he was just pummeling me. I don't know how else to describe what I was. I went down to the floor. I remember being on top of me, and he's screaming and swinging at me while I was on the floor. He had me by the hair and dragged me the rest of the way from the office into the neighboring room, the neighboring apartment. I remember the door that connected these two these two rooms had a metal grate, not a grate, but a metal bottom, metal floor that separated it. It's a big, heavy bank door. And I remember he was dragging me, and I removed my hands from my head and kind of tried to grab onto the metal door to prevent him from dragging me into the room. But I couldn't stop him. He dragged me all the way from that carpet. I was trying to get free of his grasp. I was trying to stop him from pulling me. I remember feeling the carpet and the metal. And he wrestles me, drags me up to the bed, throws me down onto the bed. It kind of wrestles me down onto the bed. And he kneels on my back with one leg. And I was trying to fight him off me because I was face down on the bed top. And he wrestled me down, kind of trying to hold me down with his knee on my back. And he's punching me with a closed fist, punching me repeatedly. And I don't remember even feeling the pain. I just remember the sound of Johnny's voice. He got next to my ear and he was screaming over and over and over again. Each time it sounded louder and more desperate. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. Over and over. Fucking hate you. And then pounding the back of my head, pounding it with his fist. And I don't even remember feeling pain. I just could hear myself scream until I couldn't hear myself anymore. I could just hear him say that he was going to kill me. And that he sounded like an animal in pain when he was saying that he fucking hated me. He sounded like he was almost crying, or something in his voice was different. He sounded different, like he sounded like he was in agony. It was high-pitched and loud. And I don't know how many times he just hit me over and over and over again. And I got really still. And it felt in my body like quiet. And I thought, this is how I die. He's going to kill me now. And I'm not. He's going to kill me, and he won't even have realized it. I couldn't breathe. I remember trying to scream, and I couldn't scream. I was suffocating in this pillow top with him holding me down, punching me over and over, and I don't have any memory after that until I woke up.
When you woke up, was there anyone there?
I remember hearing my best friend's voice. I felt like it came, felt like it was like on a speakerphone, like it came from everywhere. I just heard her voice in a weird way. It felt like it was coming from two directions. And I realized that I was sitting on the edge of the bed, on the carpet of the floor against the broken frame of the bed. And there was a low-lying bed with a really thick wooden frame. And it was broken from his boot trying to get a purchase on it while he was...
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
I could feel it.
Overruled. Thank you. Please continue.
I was there for it. And while he was on top of me, I could feel that. I could feel him trying to get balance. I could feel him slipping. I could hear it. I don't know how I got off the bed. I don't know what happened to me from the time I stopped hearing myself scream. I don't know what happened to me. It's a really weird feeling because next thing I remember is leaning against the broken part of the bed and on the carpet, and my friend saying, "Oh my God, oh my God."
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Sustained.
Okay. Go ahead. And without
And then
telling what Rocky said.
I eventually, she called the nurse, Nurse Erin. She got something out of the freezer for my face. She did a concussion check with Erin on the phone. I thought I probably had a concussion, and certainly thought I had a broken nose. There was blood everywhere, blood all over those pillows. My head was bleeding from the ripped out hair, chunks of hair on the floor all over the place, actually. It was just all over the apartment. He, after leaving me, had written on the countertops in Sharpies.
Michelle, I'm going to ask you to bring up Defendant's Exhibit 510. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
And does it accurately depict the scene portrayed?
Yes, that's the next day, I think.
Your Honor, I'm going to move the admission of Defendant's Exhibit 510.
No objection.
All right, 510 in evidence. You can publish it, please.
Thank you. And could you describe to the jury what that is?
It was chunks of my hair that Johnny ripped out while dragging me and punching me.
Thank you. Michelle, could you bring up 513, please? Defendant's 513. Does this picture accurately depict you and the scene portrayed?
I think this is a couple days later, but yeah.
Okay. I'm going to move the admission of Defendant's 513.
No objection.
All right, 513 in evidence.
And could you tell the jury what this is and what it depicts?
This is my face with a busted lip, which it's difficult to see in this picture, but my two black eyes, one is worse than the other. Like I said, maybe a day or two later. And my broken nose.
All right, thank you. Michelle, can you bring up Defendant's Exhibit 514? Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes, that's my face sometime after.
Your Honor, I'm going to move the admission of Defendant's 514.
No objection.
514 in evidence, you can publish.
All right, if you could just briefly describe for the jury what this one is.
That's my face. Some time after, and Johnny beat me up.
Thank you. Michelle, if you could bring up Defendant's 515. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes.
Going to move the admission of Exhibit 516.
No objection.
515 or 516?
516, I'm sorry if I misspoke.
You said 515
Oh.
before.
It's 515? 515.
No objection to 515? Okay.
No, Your Honor.
515 in evidence, you can publish.
And what does this depict, Amber? Could you tell the jury?
This is my face sometime after.
All right. Let's look at Defendant's 516, please. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted? Amber?
Yes, it does. This
I'd like-
is maybe,
Wait, let me move it first. May I move the
Sure.
admission of Defendant's Exhibit 516, 'cause
No objection.
516 in evidence?
published to the jury, please. Okay, Amber, go ahead and explain what it is.
I think this is maybe that night or the next night after Johnny left me on the bed.
Let's go to 517. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes, it does.
Move to admit Defendant's 517, Your Honor.
No objection.
517 in evidence?
Amber, please describe for the jury what this portrays.
That's my face after this incident.
And what's portrayed on your lip?
Well, he busted my lip when he punched me. It's bleeding in this picture. It kept reopening. You know, it's a mouth. The lips move.
Go to 519. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes.
Move the
Yes.
admission of 519.
No objection, Your Honor.
519 in evidence?
And tell the jury what this shows.
This is my lip a few days later.
Let's go to Defendant's 520, please. Does this accurately depict the scene portrayed?
Yes.
Move the admission of defendants 520, is it 521 or 520? 520?
No objection.
520 in evidence, publish.
Can you please tell the jury what's depicted here?
That's my scalp with a chunk of it missing from when Johnny was dragging me by my hair.
Let's go to defendants 521, please. I don't think that's the same. Let's take that one down. Let's go to 522. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Well, it's a few days later.
Okay. Move the admission of 522, please.
No objection.
522 in evidence,
And what shows there?
My face is healing.
Okay. Let's go to 523. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes, I think this is day or so after, maybe longer. I can't tell, but yes, it does.
Move the admission of 523.
No objection.
523 in evidence.
And I'm just going to draw your attention, Amber, to an area up here. What, if any, bruising did you sustain in that area?
Objection leading.
What, if any?
I'll sustain the objection.
Okay.
It's
What, if any, bruising did you sustain?
I'm
Same
sorry.
objection.
I'll sustain the objection.
Did you what injuries did you have?
I had bruising on my temple, my chin, my neck, the back of my head. I had swelling and pieces of, my scalp kind of ripped, torn. They were gross, pussy. But this is of the bruising around my temple from one of the blows, several of the blows, I don't know.
Let's go to 524. Does this accurately portray the scene shown?
Yes.
Okay. Move the admission of 524.
No objection.
524 in evidence.
And what does this show?
It's, I had a pretty, can I touch the screen?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, ma'am, you can.
Yes.
And I had a pretty gross bruise right there in my head, on my temple. It's difficult to see it in this light, but I remember it was pretty ugly.
Now let's go to defendants 509. Does this accurately portray the scene depicted?
Yes, it does.
Your Honor, I move the admission of defendants 509.
No objection.
All right, 509.
Will you please tell the jury what this is?
That's the bed that Johnny broke while on top of me.